more dust collection stuff. Welcome back to the shop on the channel, and yes, it's as of this filming, it's still in the shop. It's got about a week and a half or so before it's finally gone. But in the interim, in the interest of small projects, I've been wanting to add dust collection to every drill press I've ever owned. And this is going to be my last drill press, of course, because it's so good. But what I did is I went on Amazon, link in the description, and I bought dust collection flexible hose kit. And I've already opened it, obviously. It comes with a scoop. It can go here. It comes with a variety of attachments, like this thing, which is it's kind of small for working on the drill press, and the hose. And oh yeah, I got to get that attachment back. This is the other attachment. So these go on the end of the hose, and the hose is one of these. Oops, wrong end. I sealed it up completely. So much for the unboxing. The hose is one of these that you can bend and it holds its shape. Now, as far as collecting the dust itself, when I did the new dust collection piping up here, the tubing and whatever, I put an end cap so if I wanted to bring dust collection over here, I could. Then I realized, dawn breaks on the marble head, that right next to the drill press is my CNC machine in its storage location. It has a Mullet dust separator and shop vac Mullet separator in the description. There's also a video of me assembling this and how it works, and I'll leave that link in the description as well. But what I can do is I can set this up on the drill press, which is where it normally sits here, and disconnect this hose from the CNC machine and connect it over here to the dust collector, and then run the switch with just the dust collector running, not the router. But I have to figure out how I'm going to connect all this stuff together, and I've got a variety of connections here. Well, this goes in here like that. I might, like so, and then it would come up, the hose would come up. It goes like so. Will this connect here? No, I got to put a union on there. So I can put a union on there like this, and then the hose here would come up in the back, so that you can flex it around and put it wherever at the drill itself. This needs to be hard mounted, because once it's in here and it's sitting back there, it has to be hard mounted in such a way that you can manipulate this hose without ripping it off of where it's mounted. The hard mounting is probably going to be a piece of plywood back there that holds it all. And what I got from Rockler from a previous job was some of these dust collection hose 2-inch yada yada clamps, and I can hold everything with the clamps. The first thing I got to do is this is on wheels like every tool in the shop is. The first thing I got to do is pull this out, and we can all go in the back of this thing and suss out how I want to connect this. Do some brainstorming and see how I want to connect this. But I do want it on this side because of the dust collection over here, and I can't interfere with this handle, which is the unlock. This unlocks the table like that, so I can crank it up and down. Link in the description of the video of me building this cranking system. And it has to be attached to the table, so the whole system goes up and down with the table, because that's where your workpiece is going to be, and that's where you want to collect the dust from. So let's yank this thing away from the wall and do some measurements. Rolling it out and getting it where you can see it in camera. Looks like I can put a piece of plywood on here, but mounted below the surface here, if that makes sense, so that the tracks still are free to move something back. I never probably have to go back that far, but the track can be moved. I'm also considering putting the hooded part so it can be held down by a T-track fitting, but I'm not sure if I want to do that, because that hose is fairly rigid when you set it. But what I'll do is I'll take a piece of plywood, and I have to do this with it so that this mounts just like that, and then the hose obviously will come over like this with this attached to, well, this is not going to attach like this, but it attaches with this fitting, and it'll sit here, yada yada. It's all making sense now, I think. So there. So this is kind of neat stuff. I got to get some more of this. So let me go ahead and make the bracket. It's going to be 3/4 inch plywood. It'll be glued and screwed with pocket holes, screws, so that it stays put. And well, it has to be obviously this deep, or I could put it down here a little bit, but it has to be this deep here, so I can mount this in 2 places, here and here, so that it won't flex or move around with the brackets that I got. And they snap right around that, and they snap right around that. So that be mounting like that. Make sense? Makes sense. Okay, good. Let me do some off-camera woodworking, and then we'll come back and mount this stuff up and make it so that it actually works. Oh, one thing I wanted to point out that I added to this drill press table after I built it, I added an AC outlet box to the back, and that is got a long wire that goes to the wall, and then the drill press and the task light that's up here that I've added to it plug into that. So that way you don't have to worry about the cord when you have to move the drill press out to get like a big piece in there or something. So this is one of the things I add to a lot of my toolboxes and things like that, is I add a box like this. I've got one in front of the table saw. I've got one over by the bench. So you have power everywhere in the shop, and you add power whenever you need to. So that's just a little addition. So here's what I've come up with. It's made out of that kind of better plywood from the Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever the Borg store I got it from. It's pocket hole drilled into the front like that, and it's got another angled piece of wood back here as a backup for a little bit of strength. And this is going to slide right in here like that. It clears everything, and it'll be screwed in from the bottom to the table. And I'm putting about 4 or 5 screws in there, and it's sturdy enough where I can tell so far it's sturdy enough. So flexing this tube around is not going to make any difference in this. It also, I've got the table all the way down, so I know I've got clearance on the bottom of it from hitting this. So let me pre-drill some holes, and we'll mount this thing up. Just in case I have to take this off at some point, I'm not gluing this to the table, but let's see if I can get a clamp in here and somehow clamp it up so it stays in one place. Yeah, I can do that. I can do this. I can do this. No, I can't. Do it over here. I know I'm blocking the camera. Always doing that. So that'll hold it basically where I need it. Let me get another clamp and put it in there in a different way. I've got still have these machinist clamps that I've used for years for a lot of different jobs. They're very, very convenient to get into tight spaces like this. But I want this to be nice and tight, like that, and in the right place. There we go. So now I put into screws. The 2 are already pre-drilled, pre-mounted. Where's the other one? There it is, on the table where I left it. A tight fit. Yeah, you heard that, didn't you? Oh, guess what? That's not going to work. I have to put screws in a different place. And I go over here and grab screws. Off camera. Gotta love it when you're not totally prepared for everything. So I'll put this screw here. What the hell? Let's run this up so I can get in there. Always got to move stuff around. I'll take that other screw out and do it again, because it got jumped by the bit. What the hell? You know what? Let's use the right tool for the job. Alrighty then. Okay. And that's it, nice and tight. Didn't hit that. So now I can mount up the, with these, I can mount up the elbow in place. And so let me take care of that. Let me get that started and see how it comes out. Hopefully it's going to be just like we want it to be. So kind of what I figured out is, since I have to have this adapter on here, I will mount it like this. I have to put a little backer behind it. Maybe I don't. I can just do it like that. And then mount this on here. But because it's, come on, get on there. Because the hose goes in the inside of this fitting, not the outside. So if I do that and that, I'm good to go. So I'll mount that up and we'll see how it works. Now to hook up and test it. So this goes in here, nice and tight, like that. And this can flex around wherever I want, like so. And now I take the fitting, off camera here, fitting off of the CNC machine and just plug it in to that fitting right there. Now I've got dust collection at the drill press. So I want to do a test. Now this requires me to turn on two machines. I've got this set up with the router turned off, so only the dust collector will come on with the manual setting. I'll start. I've got a little piece of plywood down here and a Forstner bit. Turn the drill press on. This is going to get loud, so I'll put on some ear protection. I know it's just a dust collector, but it's loud. This will work for now. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. There it is, got dust collection on the drill press. You saw with the Forstner bit and with the brad point bit, 80%, maybe 85, 90, depending on how you look at it. It's hard to see in camera. I got to do a little tweaking here of where to mount this, where this has to go, and maybe I'll get an articulating arm that mounts it in a closer in or whatever, maybe a bigger scoop, I don't know. But as it stands right now, I've got fairly decent dust collection on my drill press. So now on to the next project, which I don't know what that's going to be right now because Dan's bridge is still in the shop. I think I have a project coming in for the house that I can do soon. Without this won't get in the way. We'll see. So, drill press dust collection. First time ever I've had drill press dust collection. So, until next time, make great things out of wood and improve your dust collection. See ya.